Good morning, David. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. David Moore, Dallas Morning News. Understanding every year and every team is different. You were very successful in the division last year. Does that have any sort of carryover from one year to the next?
I would say nothing really carries over from one year to the next. I think experience is what you get. But obviously you have to be in touch with the change and adjust on both sides. Obviously we're not the same as we were last year. They're not the same as they were last year. We both are going to play a little differently. They're going to play a lot different because of their new staff. But yeah, I mean, we talked about the division games. We talked about the last 5 years, the record and how important winning division games is. I think it's, 6-0 in division, you're 96%, 96% opportunity to be in the playoffs. So, I think it's just like anything. I mean, statistics are good to use when you're just trying to reinforce and emphasize the importance of the game. This is an important game. It's a division game. It's our first division game. It's Monday Night Football. They're 2-0. So you look at all those things, but it's at the end of the day, this is going to come down to us playing our play style, play to our play style, and play to our discipline, and we feel like we'll do what we need to do to win the game.
John Michaud, The Athletic. Micah Parsons looked like he might have hurt his leg during the game, but I was wondering if he'll be a full go today, or if there's any setbacks with him.
No, he physically, I mean, as far as his leg and everything, he's fine. He's battling a little bit of a cold, so we're just being smart with him.
And with Kadarius Toney and Kenny Galladay, they might not have had the biggest of starts that maybe they were expecting with how invested they've been in those two players. How do you have to say anything extra to your guys, like, hey, make sure that you don't sleep on these guys? Well,
no, yeah, we're not sleeping on anybody. I think it's we have a normal process, and and I think we've done a much better job as a staff, getting to the player profiles of the next opponent a little earlier in the week. So, we give every perimeter player, in this particular opportunity, their due and their matchups and their, But at the end of the day, this is the National Football League. We talked about this time and time again. They're all good players. I mean, you can't sleep on anybody in this league. If a player lines up, he's on a 48-man roster. He gets the respect that he deserves. But at the end of the day, we want to focus on how we want to play and the things we want to do. But I don't see us sleeping on anybody.
Mike McCarthy, Dallas Morning News. How have you seen Jason Peters progress during the ramp-up program, and is he ready for team drills this week?
He's going to take a little more today. I mean, he's still climbing up, but it's just like anything. Conceptually, he has seen it all and done it all. So it's not that there's anything conceptually that we're doing or how we're going to do it against their defense that is new to him, or there's a new understanding. It's language, and that's what this. Really what skiing comes down to. At the end of the day, we still play with 11. They still play with 11, and so he's getting better. I mean, this is going to be more about his legs and things like that, and get him to where we feel like he's game ready.
Clarence Silver, Star Television. Just piggybacking on Parsons, you said you've been cautious with him, so he'll be stopping the run with the Giants. Just talk about that.
Oh yeah. Well, I think they're much improved. I mean, obviously, I think got the two tackles that we've been impressed with, Thomas and Neal, and the rookie's off to a good start. So, but yeah, Saquon's healthy. I mean, he's a featured part of their football team, let alone in the run game. So yeah, it's definitely a focus for us.
Mike Todd Archer with ESPN. When you have a player like Gallup coming back from a significant injury like this, when he gets this close, do you have any extra conversation like, hey, be honest with us, tell us how you're feeling, don't try and hide it back because we know you want to play? I
look at that as really just one continuous conversation. So yeah, it's not like we're just going to be a big sit down at the end of the week. I mean, this is, I think that's just that's the way we operate. I think Britt does an outstanding job of return to play with all the players, and so these conversations have been ongoing. And at the end of the day. Michael being ready to play, we've already crossed the physical threshold. It's just about it's more about reps and getting them back into game ready, not speed but mind speed. Just getting them up to speed and on the little things. And I guess will be tomorrow will be his second padded practice since last year. So it's really more about that. But he has great confidence in where he is physically.
Mike Jordy, Yahoo Sports. You and Dan have talked about how you adjust game plans week to week. When you have a team that's been way more productive in the run game than in the pass game like the Giants, what's the philosophy there?
Well, you got to stop both, but it always starts at the run. I mean, I don't know if you call it old school, new school, but you know, I believe from an offensive perspective, you always start with the run game, then protection, then pass, and it's no different in defense. So you have to stop the run because at the end of the day, it starts at the line of scrimmage. But you can't, you know, going back to John's question earlier, I mean, you can't fall asleep not only on players but on scheme. You know, week one we were playing the offense was number 1 or 2 in the league in passing. They came in and, you know, emphasized the run. So I mean, that's the beauty of why we play the games. That'll be the case Monday night. But yes, I mean, as far as how you look at the other team on both sides of the ball, you know, it'll start with us running it and us stopping the run.
Mike, Rob Phillips, DallasCowboys.com. Do you anticipate Dalton getting any practice work next couple of days, or is it more about training?
He's on an incline, so we're going to do a little bit more each day and try to take it to where we can get to Sunday. And you know, and if he gets through Sunday clean, then he'll have a chance.
Mike Edwarder with ESPN. There are a lot of reasons you had trouble scoring these first couple of weeks. Two quarterbacks, played the Bucs, good defensive team. But when Michael Gallup is healthy and playing like Michael Gallup can at his best, what are your expectations for how he can affect your passing team?
Well, I think we have to be practical about it. You know, I don't see Michael playing 70 plays in a game, so I think that's the obvious. You know, it is his first game back. So, and I think, you know, how we use them, when we use them, will be part of that. So, and I think when you are in that role as a player, you know, you don't have as control of the opportunities to get the player the ball. So, I think the biggest thing is really to get Michael through this week of work where he feels, you know, totally comfortable and confident, which I fully anticipated because I mean he's, you know, in his mind I think Michael's ready right now. But you know, I think as far as the opportunities that present to him, you know, I think it'll come in a roll. You know, as far as how many snaps and so forth, because you know the plan is not for him to play, you know, 70 plays.
We're always asking about ball distribution. I think this last game, the touches for Zeke and Pollard were like 16 to 13. In general, is that about the ratio you want to get? And you're always talking about getting.
Well, we'd like to get it higher. I mean, I think the first thing you got to look at is, you know, is the number of plays. You know, I mean, you want to be 72 and above. You know, we obviously haven't been there in week 1 or week 2, and I think the biggest, you know, the captain obvious part of it is third down, and we talked about that 2 weeks in a row. So we need to be better on third down, and I think when you are in a good spot with third down conversion, your ball distribution usually reflects that.
Anything else? That it? Tom?
So just trying
I
to.
didn't hurry. You got something
Sorry.
going on there?
My movers are coming at 11, all right? So let's go.
So have you told us Gallup's
Pad's moving today.
Yeah.
Hell with the Giants and the Cowboys. Pad's moving. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Have you broke some news on us? So Gallup will play?
Well,
In your mind?
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Jesus. Man,
Well, usually your answer. Usually you keep that stuff to.
I'm Mr. Positive. I don't tell you guys anything. I mean, I want them all to play. I want them all to practice. But, you know. Huh? No, I'm not competitive. I hope he plays. But, you know, but he has to go through, you know, I told you on Monday, I think, that the plan is for him to get a whole slate of practice. So our goal is to get him through all the practice, and that includes Sunday's practice, you know, which is our launch practice. So, but if he does play, I don't see him playing 70 plays. Okay.
Is the plan for Peters to play?
He has to go through a full week of practice. I mean, they're both on the same plan, you know.
Has Dak gotten
I don't have to watch the I say now. I'm gonna start watching these damn press conferences soon.
Mike, has Dak gotten his stitches out yet? If not, when do you?
No, he hasn't. No, he did not. He has not got his stitches up.
All right.
Tad's got to go. All right. So.
Yesterday about